My name is Pranav Ragji and I'm the Zoom master for today's meeting. Let's have a round of applause for everybody today who are present. On behalf of the club and SESCOM, I welcome all the fellow Toastmasters and dear guests to Bombay Toastmaster Club's meeting number 335. Before we proceed with the meeting, little information. Drinking water is available at your nearest water bottle. Hopefully, washrooms are nearby. May I request you all to make sure no noise-making family members are in the room. I'll give you 10 seconds for that. Thank you. I request you to refrain from talking or moving during the meeting as it disturbs the speaker. Keep the members on mute when the meeting begins and will unmute role players when handed over. Please ensure you have good connection and have adjusted your camera. The Toastmasters Club mission. Provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. With this, I would like to invite the presiding officer for today to preside over and call the meeting in order. She is creative, has an enthusiastic personality, and has taken up many roles in Toastmasters. Please make a huge round of applause to welcome Toastmaster Nivedita.
So once again, a very good evening and warm welcome to all at our Bombay Toastmaster 335th meeting. Actually, what a day today. There are lot many events. From where to start is a question, but let me first give the best wishes to all of you for the festival of Holi, which is on tomorrow, the color of festivals. Then today is also marked a World Theatre Day, which is again a very good symbol of art and music. So it's a World Theatre Day today. So best wishes on that occasion as well. Of course, the other side of the story is we just now finished 1 year of pandemic, and we are hoping for the best we will be free from that and all will be healthy, happy once again. So with wishing that. And of course, the last but most important is the March ending, the theme what our Toastmaster want to take it. I don't want to take the theme out from the Toastmaster of the day, but just want to list all the events which are happening today or in the next 2-3 days of this month. So before we start the meeting, I just want to highlight today we have 5 speeches. So we have only prepared speech session. So unlike the way we always have 3 sessions, which is prepared speeches, to table topics, as well as the evaluation session, we will have only 2 sessions today, the prepared speech one and the evaluation one. So with this, I would like to invite guest. Can I have Tina Arora? I request Zoom Master to spotlight Tina. Hi, Tina. Will you introduce yourself?
Hello. Thank you so much, Nivedita. Thank you, everyone, for having me with you today. My name is Tina Arora. I have just shared a small introduction video with Manan as well. While you'll get to know a lot about me, but I'm very excited to be a part of this journey. I've been in the corporate world for about 21 years in the BFSI segment. I've now really decided to move on and have a startup of my own in the financial services sector and contribute in the mental health domain. I chose BTM because I really need to learn a lot in terms of enhancing my communication, my conversational skills, and also my leadership skills. I'm very excited, very happy to be here today. And I look forward to all your support and blessings. Wish you all a very happy Holi, and please stay safe with you and your loved ones at home.
Thanks a lot, Tina, and I assure you, you are at the right place. So thank
you.
May I have Akshay Prasad requesting Zoom Master to spotlight Akshay.
Yeah.
Akshay, can you introduce?
Guys.
Yeah. Hi.
So this is my first time here. So I got to know about this from a friend of mine. And so I'm just exploring, I'm just seeing what's happening. I'm kind of excited to see what you have in store for me. And myself, I work with HDFC Bank. I'm a product manager. So the reason I'm here is because of COVID, I've been cut off from people. I've not been honing my skills. So I thought this would be a good way to practice and also improve my skills, communication skills, as well as talking to people, as well as my leadership skills as well. So that's about it. I'm looking forward to what you have.
Great, Akshay. I'm sure. Same. Requesting Anshul. Hi, Anshul.
Hi, Nivedita.
Hello. Can
Hello.
you please unmute your video? Yeah, you are audible, but can you unmute your video?
Because of the network fluctuation, today I am not able to. Please bear with that.
Okay, fine. Just introduce yourself.
Myself, Anshul Tawri. I had already attained more than 5 to 6 lecture of the Bombay Toastmaster. I am definitely want to be a part of the Toastmaster. So in the next month, I will definitely apply for its membership. Regarding myself, I am a chartered accountant in practice and have 2 years of experience. Over to you, Nivedita.
Thank you. Okay, so let's start. So now I want to hand over the session to today's Toastmaster. She's the one who is a trainer herself. But despite that, she has chosen a very useful topic, a very relevant topic for the theme as today's theme. So without much ado, I would like to invite Toastmaster of the day today, Toastmaster Hemangi.
Am I audible and visible? Okay, great, good. Thank you so much. So before we start, I would thank all the participants. Oh, sorry, not the participant, but the Toastmasters and guests. I just completed my training, so I am in the same mode. Sorry, yeah. So just to tell about today's meeting. So today, as TM Nivedita mentioned, that we have a special agenda for this meeting. So today we will have only 2 segments for today's meeting. So we will have a prepared speeches, and second one, we will have an evaluation round. In the prepared speeches, the Toastmasters will deliver their speeches based on their projects and the path. And the evaluation round, those prepared speeches and the other aspect will be evaluated by the general evaluator of this team. So let's start the meeting. But before I start the meeting, I would like you to hear this music. Me, I can, 1 second. I'm sure right now all of you must be feeling the same music of rush, isn't it? So how many of you can really relate? I believe this music perfectly match with the theme of the day. Yes, my dear friends, it's financial year end, or what we called as a March end for all we Indians. Now tell me honestly, how many of you felt that rushing and flashed number of things in your front of your eyes by just listening to the word March end, right? March has been really terrifying during our school student life. That being there's an exam in March and in April. And now, when we started earning, we are professional. The March has become phobia for all of us. Everyone is just rushing to achieve the set targets, preparation to submit the financial statements, presentation to our managements, one or other. It is a never ending list. Yes, I'm sure each of you must have a long list of things to complete before this financial year end. Correct? So today, we too have our list of the things to be completed before we end this meeting. So let's all begin. Wait. Okay. You know, we cannot alone prepare or complete our year end task. Can we? I think so. Everybody need or seek assistance from the experts who help us to complete in this task. Likewise, we have our experts who will assist me in completing our today's meeting successfully. So let me introduce you with these experts. The way we have our financial advisor keep watch on our investment, wrong or unnecessary expenses, we have our grammarian to do that task. So when I ask this Toastmaster, what is the first things comes in your mind when you hear March end? He remember about Holi, his favorite festival, and then, of course, exam with the heat of summer. Let's welcome Toastmaster Anurag. Toastmaster Anurag, over to you.
Hi, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster and guests. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to listen to everything said during the meeting and to note and report any particularly effective uses of grammar and or any grammatically incorrect speech. As grammarian, it is also my task to present the word of the day for today's meeting. The word is turnover, which means how quickly a company collects cash from accounts receivable or how fast the company sells its inventory. In the investment industry, turnover is defined as the percentage of a portfolio that is sold in a particular month or year. An example of using the word is turnover of Walmart is about 500 billion US dollar in the year of 2019, which makes them the largest organization in the world. In order to qualify for the vote for best speaker, each speaker must use the word of the day during his or her speech. I will give a word of the day report and grammatical usage report when called for. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anurag. Even I will request all speakers to use the word of the day, that is turnover. Now the next Toastmaster I'm going to call is for our counter. Now again, when I ask the same question to this Toastmaster, he to remember the holy celebration and how he uses his leave balances. from his organization to go to his place to celebrate Holi. I'm sure you are very lucky, Toastmaster, that you could take a long leave during the March rush. Over to you, Toastmaster Deepak. Toastmaster Deepak?
Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you for the introduction, but unlikely I'm not lucky this time. Due to COVID, I could not go. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guest, a very good evening to all of you. The role of our counter is to listen to all the participants and note the following speaking errors for each participant. Crutch words and sounds like filler words like and okay, and filler phrases like I mean, repeat words, short and long pauses, which are not part of the speech. I'll give my report when called upon. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepak. Now, next, when we have the expert that we have is like the financial expert who keep reminding us on our targets, the submission dates, and keep a track of our timeline. We have our timer, Toastmaster Pranav. When I called him about his March end memory, he said, "Of course, it is April." That was too good. I can see his really positive perspective to look at the bright side. Over to you, Toastmaster Pranav.
Hello, am I audible? Mr. Madam Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. As timer, my duty is to time prepared speeches and speech evaluations during this meeting. When a speaker reaches the minimum time allotted, I will display the green card. When the speaker reaches the midpoint of the time range allotted, I will display the yellow card. When the speaker reaches the end of his allotted time, I will display the red card. The speaker has 30 seconds grace time before the green or after the red is displayed to end the speech in order to qualify for the vote. I will report qualifying times when called for. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pranav. We all know that March end preparation is not overnight task. It required a lot of preparation and many sleepless nights goes into it. Similarly, we have our first segment where our speaker has put lots of thinking and practice to get their perfect prepared speech. But before we call upon our first prepared speech speaker, let me call upon a Toastmaster who will evaluate the speech and tell us the pathway for our first speaker. So let me call upon Toastmaster Kirtiman. Do we have Toastmaster Kirtiman?
One second, 1 second. In absence of evaluator, I'll read out the objective. Just give me a minute.
Sure.
Today, the speaker is presenting the second speech of level 1, and the objective is to give the one sec. Sorry. The purpose of this project is the member to learn and review the basic research method and presented a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. Timer, please note time is 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster, Madam Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nivedita.
Who is going to evaluate the speaker?
I'll do the evaluation in case he as he is not joining, because he's not reachable. So I'll do the evaluation.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Nivedita. Like as we do in the financial year end, we have to adjust everything. So similarly, thanks for adjusting. When I asked our first speaker about March end, without thinking, he just mentioned, it's target. Of course, it's target. Who will forget that one word who horrified us in our professional life? Let's hope the next Toastmaster has the own target to set for his speech. Please welcome Toastmaster Dilip, and the title of his speech is 21 minutes only. 21 minutes only, Toastmaster Dilip.
In every day, there are 1,440 minutes. That means we have daily 1,440 opportunities to make a positive impact. The quote is from Les Brown. 21 minutes of exercise a day could boost lifespan by more than 3 years. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, my dear guest. Today, I would like to tell you a story of a corporate guy by the name of Mr. Rahul. Currently, he is on ICU bed fighting for his life. Outside the ICU bed, he has his wife, son, and daughter. While wife, son, and daughter believing that they are responsible for making Rahul at this current situation. They are feeling that had they been a bit more responsible towards the health of Rahul, the current situation could have been avoided. Whereas on the deathbed, Mr. Rahul feels, had he listened to the advice given to him by his doctor 20 years back to incorporate physical activity or exercises on a daily basis, he could have prevented this heart attack. Friends, don't be Rahul. I'll come back what happened to Rahul at the end of my speech. In fact, his realization that the responsibility of taking care of as the first priority of health is himself, not to the others. If you think that if you can bear the sorrow faces, sad faces of your family members, then I must tell you, you are not in the right direction. You should have the honors or responsibility of your health, because if you don't take the health as your first priority, you cannot give this type of unhappiness to your near and dear ones. Research has proven just by merely increasing the activity levels can improve the life expectancy. According to a study by Vitality Health, where they involved 6,600 people over 12 months, which carried out by the Vitality Health, where people increase their activity levels to 150 minutes a week, that is 21 minutes a day. So their life expectancy increases by more than 3 years. That is the current UK national guidelines amount of exercise for adults. But if you find that this is unachievable, even merely by increasing 90 minutes per week of physical activity can boost 2.7 years of life expectancy, or even 60 minutes per week of increment in the physical activity will lead to 2.5 years add-on of your life expectancy. The idea is to incorporate physical activity, and for that nothing great is to be done. There are a few examples which I will shortly tell you how to incorporate those activities which will help you to increase the life expectancy. Now let us understand how the researchers have found out this life expectancy. It's an aggregate measure of wellness that evaluates the gap between the physical body age and the actual age. The 6,600 people were evaluated, and they were questioned before. That is, the questionnaires were given pre and post activity, how they feel and how their behavior impacted their daily life. And this evaluation led to the conclusion that those activity which normally they do, there has been a difference in their lifestyle post activity, and thus their physical body age, the gap between the physical body age and actual age differs very much. Now, the moment we have been advised to incorporate physical activity, we think too much. Like, there are options like going to the gym, weight training, yoga. Even yoga, there are various forms which to choose. People get confused. So today I will let you understand it is not like that. Even simple activities, like for example, if you're going for work, just step down a one step back and just try to walk. That will also add 30 to 40 minutes per week. Not only that, you can have 1 hour of working at your house. That will also add to the activity levels. Washing your car once a week will also add. Simple exercises like walking regularly, either morning walk or evening walk, will also add to the activity levels. These are small things. And there are people who get confused over whether to go for weight training or yoga. So today I'd like to give you a small difference between the weight training and the yoga. Weight training, there is a lot of investment of money. And as a result, the money involved does not impact. In fact, whereas in yoga, what you do, there is no investment. Investment is only your time. And on a subtle way, I just like to tell you, yoga, there is a cleansing of your body organs, like how you flush the toxins out from your body. Similarly, in yoga, your internal organs or system is very cleansed very easily. Whereas there is aesthetic body image happens in the bodybuilding, whereas your body, outside body looks good. There's nothing much happens inside the body. So friends, it is your duty to choose if you want your near dear one as a in a happy state, and if you don't want to see their sorrow face, especially if you are in the hospital, then the responsibility lies on you to take care of health. Friends, let me tell you, Rahul died. And who's responsible? He is the one who's responsible to bring tears in his family members. If you don't want to be Rahul, make sure you incorporate daily physical activity. I'm not asking too much, just 21 minutes involvement in your daily activity will give sufficient life expectancy. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dilip. I remember the same advice coming from my doctor a few years back. And though I didn't reach to that level, but yeah, it impacted a lot. Thank you so much for those advices. I didn't see this as a speech, but more of advice to all of us. Thank you so much. Now we'll take 30 minutes, seconds of uh, to provide feedback to Toastmaster Dilip. Please send a feedback in private chat. Great. Now, next, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Chetan, who will tell us about the purpose and pathway for our next prepared speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster Chetan.
Thank you, Toastmasters of the day. My speaker is attempting the level 1 project 4 speech from the motivational strategies pathway. And the purpose of this project is for the member to learn and review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. Timer, please note the time is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to the speaker, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chetan. Now, when I asked our next speaker the first thought of March end, he mentioned its financial result of last quarter of the year. Yeah, of course, in the corporate world, the financial quarters matters because that's where all the expenses and the next year's investment and appraisals depend upon. So, welcome, Toastmaster Vasudeva, and his speech title is Do You Know Magnifera Indica? Do you know Magnifera Indica, Toastmaster Vasudeva?
Am I visible and audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, and a very good evening to all the members and guests present. It is interesting to note that India is a land of kings. In terms of royalty, India has been represented by Ashoka, Chandragupta, and Akbar, to name a few. When you look at it from the perspective of wildlife also, India is the home of the Asiatic lion and the Royal Bengal tiger. However, today I want to speak about a different king. Today I want to speak about Magnifera indica. A peculiar name, don't you think? So let me help you with that a little bit. Magnifera indica is the biological name of mangoes, the king of all fruits. Yes, even mangoes call India their home. So, how did the name Magnifera indica come about? I'll get to that eventually in the speech, but let's first approach the more common name mangoes. So, according to Merriam-Webster, when the Portuguese arrived to India, they misinterpreted a local Malayalam word mana for manga, which eventually gave birth to the word mangoes. Fun fact, even today, manga is the common terminology used to refer to raw mangoes in the southern parts of India. Also, while we are on the topic of fun facts, it would be interesting to note that the mango tree is part of the cashew variety of trees. So, cashew nuts that are there at home and mangoes are basically the same family, biologically speaking. Uh, on another note, in a report by the Ministry of Commerce from the Government of India, they report that India has over 1,000 varieties of mangoes in India. 1,000 varieties of one fruit in the entire country of India, with the most popular ones being Alfonso, Kesar, Badam, Pairi, Langda, Totapuri. Just thinking about it is making my mouth water. What do you think? Having said so much about the aspects and attributes of mango, you would wonder what is there more to speak about? Well, yes, and hold on. There is a lot more to speak about mangoes. So, moving on, according to a report by the United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization, in 2019, the global production of mangoes was approximately 55 million tons. Out of this total production, India alone as a country produced 25 million tons of mangoes, which is approximately 45% of the global production. In comparison, the second largest producer of mangoes, which is Indonesia, produced just 3 million tons of mangoes in 2019. That's a measly 5% of global production. Further, it would be interesting to note that a report by the Ministry of Commerce of the Government of India reported that in the year 2019 to 2020, the Indian economy turned over a total export of fresh fruits of the value of 55 million US dollars. Out of this, mangoes contributed about 5 million US dollars, which is approximately 7.5% of the total fresh fruits exports achieved by the country. The top destinations for these exports were some of the world's biggest economies, which include the United Arab Emirates, the United Kingdom, and the United States of America. Now, I know you might be wondering why I'm giving a speech on mangoes, and I'll let you in on a little secret. It is March, and the first lot of mangoes have arrived at my home. The sweet smell that these mangoes bring with them has not only brought an irresistible temptation, but also gave birth to a almost crazy thought in my mind. The thought was, I have to give a speech, so let's give a speech about mangoes. When I started, I was not sure how the speech would go, but as I progressed, the various facts that revealed itself to me were just amazing. Mangoes and India are very deeply tied, and it has a very deep impact on not only on the livelihood of people, but also as a life giver to lots of people within our country and in various countries across the world. This is best highlighted by the fact that its biological name is Magnifera indica, and the indica in the name is a sort of a homage to its origin in India, because it's Latin, and in Latin, indica is the closest that they could come to India. So, not only is mango native to India, it is a world recognized fact that it is from this country. And on that note, I would like to conclude and hope that just like how I found this writing this speech interesting, hopefully it was the same for all of you. Thank you.
Wow, Toastmaster Vasudeva. When I first read your topic, Magnifera Indica, I first thought you will talk about cars. I don't know, somehow I felt that. But it came as in mango. It was so surprise. Of course, March and mangoes go hand in hand because at the end of the March, we all expect mangoes. And it helps increasing turnover to our retailers. So thank you for that topic. 30 seconds to our participants for feedback to Toastmaster Vasudha. Now next, we have someone to tell about the pathway and purpose of the speech for our next speaker. We have Toastmaster Shirish. Over to you, Toastmaster Shirish. Please spotlight. Thank you.
Good evening, Toastmaster Day, fellow Toastmaster and dear guest. My speaker is delivering L2P3 speech in pathways, presentation mastery. The purpose of the project is to clarify, define how Toastmaster envisions mentoring. Over to Toastmaster Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shirish. So let me introduce our next speaker to you, for whom March end is the IT return filing. Now, everybody over here, I believe that's the struggle. The thought is already in your mind, when, how, who, everything. So when we look at our taxes and things, why we have to do it, and always we look for a help from other person. So let's begin with the speech by Toastmaster Dinesh, and the speech title is My Mentor. My Mentor, Toastmaster Dinesh. Yes, Toastmaster Dinesh, you can start.
Am I visible and audible?
Yes.
Friends, a mentor is someone who sees more ability and talents in you than you see in yourself, and also helps bring it out of you. The famous quote comes from Bob Proctor. Kudos to Toastmasters International, who also recognized the importance and incorporated mentoring as an integral part of the Toastmasters organizational structure. Friends, all of us, without exception, have someone or the other in our life's journey who helped us to be what we are today. Fellow Toastmasters and friends, today I like to share three mentors of my life. There have been many mentors, but paucity of time doesn't allow to speak about all of them. I'll speak about three of them. First mentor about whom I like to talk is the mentor I'm having in BTL. 2 years back, when I came to Mumbai and wanted to become a Toastmaster, I posted my inquiry in the website of BTL. After a few days, somebody contacted me and discussed with me in detail what Toastmaster is all about, what activity BTL, so on and so forth. I was really very, very impressed by the way, the precision with which this veteran Toastmaster spoke to me and convinced me about the good things about Toastmasters. So I readily gave my consent to become a member, and that too of Bombay Toastmasters. After some time, then President Pratibha asked me, whom do you want as your mentor in the club? I had a ready choice. I said, let the person who contacted me for becoming a member be my mentor. Because the impression was so vivid and so good. Let me tell you, friends, from the day one, I found my mentor very, very approachable and having a totally unique approach. Whenever I approached him for any challenge, any issue, he was always readily available. he good thing about him, which I noticed most, was he never provided any ready-made solution to me. He always insisted on my working on the issue twice, thrice, until both of us agreed that now this is a good decision, good shape, be it my speech or any other issue. Not only this, outside Toastmasters also, whenever I was facing any challenge, I contacted him, and he always offered me his best counsel, which have helped me in life. Friends, this Toastmaster, who is a corporate trainer, I had the occasion of attending one of his training also, and that again helped me in life. Friends, I can only say that today, if you have liked my speeches so far, the credit goes to my mentor, and the mistakes and the flaws are only mine. With these words, I introduce the veteran Toastmaster, my mentor, Toastmaster Anand. Friends, second Toastmaster, second mentor in my life was my elder brother, is my elder brother, who taught me what large-heartedness is all about and what love is all about. Now, the time is less for going in detail for that. Let me conclude by a simple advice that if you want to build your life in any area, if you want to shine in any area, find a suitable mentor who is knowledgeable in that area, and your life will change. Friends, what my mentors taught me, I like to summarize by a Hindi couplet, and I request grammarian to excuse me for using a Hindi couplet here. कह दो मुश्किलों को कि वो और कठिन हो जाए, कह दो चुनौतियों को वो और कठिन हो जाए, नापना चाहते हो हमारी हिम्मत को, कह दो आसमां को कि वो थोड़ा और ऊपर हो जाए. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh. Yes, the topic which is also close to my heart. And today I'm lucky to have my mentor over here. Definitely, I'll introduce my mentor at the end of the meeting. But thank you for that topic. Now let's take 30 seconds for the feedback on private chat. Okay, now wait. It is still not the end of our first segment. As I said earlier, today we have a prepared speech marathon going on. And I believe even our speakers want to complete their target for this year. So they just want to have all meetings today. Okay, next, welcome Toastmaster Manish to talk about purpose of speech for our next speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster Manish.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. My speaker is attempting her level 2 P3 speech from motivational strategies. The purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. The purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protégé. Timer, please note the timing is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manish. So let me introduce our next speaker, for whom March end was always and is scary. When she was kid as a student, it was scary, and now as a professional, it is more scarier to her. So let's begin with the speech title, A Treasure of Life, Toastmaster Nivedita, Treasure of Life. Toastmaster Nivedita, over to you.
Once upon a time, a cow went into a jungle to gaze. She saw a tiger is racing towards her. She ran with a heart in mouth. She came near a pond without any thought. She jumped into it and saw the tiger. But the pond was full of recesses of mud and both were stuck. Tiger wanted to free himself and tried to roared and tried to frighten the cow. The cow thoughtfully smiled and asked, "Do you have a master?" The tiger disdainfully replied, "Master, I am the master. I don't need a master." Cow again smiled and said, "You may be a master, but your powers will not help you to save your life now. My master will come and he will take me out." And true to her words, her master came, saw the plight of a poor cow, lifted her and took her home. While on the way home, they felt renewed gratitude for each other and pitied the tiger. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and respected guests, the cow represents the surrendered heart. The tiger represents the egoistic mind. The master represents the mentor. The mud represents the world. And the chase represents the constant fight or struggle therein. It's having a mentor. It's important to have you a mentor who will constantly look out for you, who will help you with his experience and expertise. Having a mentor does not make you weak, but when you have a mentor, you will be stronger. The mentor of, like a good friends, good mentors are treasures of life, and their learnings we can treasure for our lifetime. And exactly that's what Toastmaster envision for mentorship. It's not about telling you about your roles and reviewing your speeches, but it's hearing out your vision, hearing out your goals, hearing out your areas you want to improve, hearing out your communication you want to excel, and help you out in that. Mentors actually help you to understand the process, and that's the best part about the mentorship, and that's the best part about the Toastmasters. I had good mentors early in my lifetime. The first, my guide during my postgrad project, Dr. Gram Purohit. Being a very genius, at the same time a modest lady, she wanted everything to be the best and nothing less than best. But what learning I want to treasure from her is she made me accountable for my each and every job and my each and every goal. With that sweet memories, I entered the corporate world. And guess what? I met my mentor, no one really wants. Being in marketing and sales, that person appeared once in 15 and 20 days. And always, don't you know this? Why did you do this? Why did you complete this in time? You didn't learn this in your college? I sometimes wonder whether who is a mentor and who is a mentee, and who will ask the questions. It was no mentoring and only complaining. As a trainee in that corporate world, I have a simple request. I want that affirmation. I want that assurance that you do your work. I'm there. I'm there for you to help you out. That's it. Nothing else. But no. But I'm lucky again. He immediately shifted to some other function, and then I worked happily thereafter. My mentor in Toastmaster Hasnain, one of the most energetic, senior-most personalities in Bombay Toastmaster. He not only taught me about the writing of the speeches as well as the delivery, but the important aspect of assessment. He always ensured me about my progress and where I have reached so far. So the evaluation, adding those evaluation and giving again the speech, again the evaluation, and that helped me to improve, not only learn that, but it is actually cemented in myself. And last but not the least, all the BTM members, old and new, I felt deep gratitude for all of you to help me, to support me, to push me to do the best out of me. So the best meant. So having an awesome mentor offering you invaluable treasures like accountability, affirmation, assessment, advice, and engage in your development is precious. But as per the Newton's third law, for every action, there is equal and important reaction. So as a role of a protege must be also elevated with the same degree of significance. You have to be prepared, you have to be inquisitive, you have to be forward thinking and push the boundaries to best leverage the mentorship, which is equally important. Friends, you become a part of what you are, who you are around. When you find a solid mentor, I assure you that treasures are more than what you can imagine. Thank you, and over to you, Madam Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nivedita. Yes, indeed, it's a treasure of life to find a good mentor who can change your life. And I think so. I must congratulate you that you have found one. Thanks. So another 30 seconds of feedback session on the private chat, and then we can move. Now next, we have Toastmaster Manjeet, who will tell us about the purpose of the speech for our next speaker. Toastmaster Manjeet.
A very holy evening, Toastmaster of the day. fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. The purpose of the project for the member is to develop and apply skills for coaching a fellow member or a person outside of Toastmasters who can benefit from her experience. The purpose of the speech is to share some aspect of her experience of coaching. With this, over to the member to deliver the speech. And over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manjeet. So next, let me introduce you to Toastmaster Sudha, and just a bit change in the system. I don't have the speech title from Sudha, so I will have Sudha to talk about her speech title as well. Over to you, Toastmaster Sudha.
Before I begin, can you guys hear me? Can see me as well? Yeah, okay. And sorry about Himangi. I think you must have sent the message on the other mobile. So that's why maybe I'm in the US now, and it's about 9 o'clock in the morning and very cold. Okay. Thank you. Diamond is a piece of coal that never gave up. Rough diamonds can be actually mistaken for pebbles, isn't it? We all have our stuck moments, lack of enthusiasm, motivation gone, disillusioned, discouraged, and completely lost to see the goal or the path that we are treading on. We all can realize our dreams and follow our goals if we have that burning desire within us. Very easy said. But how many of us get derailed in our journey and get destabilized with negativity and lack of confidence? The winners of today were losers of yesterday. The only difference is they might have had one person who would have believed in them, or they themselves had the grit to make it. That one person could be a parent in case of Bill Gates, teacher, a good friend, a spouse in case of Ahilyabai Holkar. As they say, when teachers act as coaches, every student becomes a winner. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Our curriculum teaches maths, English, science very well, but doesn't teach you the subject of life. To err is not considered human. Very few along the way find their calling. Help is very much needed in society, and people are scared to ask for help because they can be labeled as weak. There is no trust element I see between human beings. So, coach is a person who actually works as a partner with a person to help them to reach their potential all across all facets of life. A coach helps people to take a structured and disciplined approach to personal development and betterment. There are psychologists and there are coaches. There are fitness coaches and there are life coaches. Last speech of mine, I discussed the story of my rare jewel, Ratnam, the petrified, dejected, negative, old fashioned Malayali maid who was transformed into a confident, resourceful, positive nanny and a substantial provider to her family with a little bit of guidance, coaching, and direction. The other story which I'm referring to, I've shared with my evaluator, was that of Avni, my dear friend, who was in great trouble with her life, her family, her children, her in laws, her goals, and she almost wanted to commit suicide and needed an awakening, a rekindling of her thoughts. Since I was a certified coach through Arfin Academy, I was able to take her through few facets of formal coaching, which I want to share with you all. This was a personality test. We highlighted her baselines, which defined her core values, and lack of addressing of those made her definitely very unhappy. A slight shift in her life with some discussions with her family members. After I enlightened her on few of them, she was a happier person. She conducted her duties effortlessly. Her wheel of life exercise was something which she really thanked me for. What was this? We actually graded different areas of her life, which was friends, family, entertainment, health, career, wealth, assets. We graded it in a way for her to realize where she stands with respect to these attributes of life and what she thinks about them. Has she really been successful? Is she satisfied when she looks at them, at where she has reached in achieving them? It was also important for us to evaluate her important happenings in her life. Now, you might ask me, why is that important? But, friends, this impacts our lives so much since our childhood. You don't realize it. We carry so much baggage with us. We analyzed those events which affected her thinking and her views in life, and also whether she was able to benefit from those thoughts that she's carrying behind her brain. There were blocks which we wanted to remove because she had to achieve greater success. She was not able to do that because they were negative codes. We had to make sure that she transfers those negative codes into E codes, which is energy codes. Some of them you can't get rid of, but some of them, if you coin it in a way that they are positive words, you probably might be able to circumpass them. The most important was to define clear outcomes. She didn't have a goal. She didn't have anything ahead of her. The only thing which she knew was duty bound to her family. We sat down. She was a talented cook. We sat and very educated as well, qualified as well. We sat down, we defined clear outcomes for her and with measurable timelines so that she can also relate to the emotion. If those timelines are met, what is she going to feel? Happy, ecstatic, neutral? So we went through all that, and she was then committed her skin of the game was committed for reaching those goals. The other aspect was visualization. I think visualization of one's dreams was very important. If you don't visualize what you're going to be, you will never reach there. And when you visualize it, you have to feel happy. You have to feel ecstatic about it. And all the cells within your body should merge together to want to achieve it. And then you can achieve your goals. So, 6 weeks of continuous deliberations, arguments, discussions, emotional outbursts, extended debates, we were able to transform Avni into a successful woman entrepreneur in her own right by making catering and baking as a profession. This was possible through a very useful app devised by the Academy, which recorded all the findings and capsulated it into meaningful deductions. She was able to create her own niche and felt strong and independent, producing her own income. She is my Avni. For all the things that she did for me, I was fortunate to guide and impact her to realize her strengths and create a balance, resulting in a very happy, peaceful Avni, which I'm used to in my life. The story is shared with the evaluator. Confucius once said, "Give a man a fish and you will feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you'll have fed him for a lifetime." Let us all be that number 8 in someone's life who can create a balance of standing straight by our influence and, if turned down, can create infinite possibilities. My vision is to upgrade at least 50 people who cannot afford the monetized coaching programs which we see every day on our Facebook ads. The rich surely get richer as they access more and more. But what about the poor? If we cannot if we cannot reach out to these people and better their lives, I think our lives are not worth it. Do it in a formal way, do it in an informal way, but try to reach out and pull up people so that we have a balanced society with infinite possibilities. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sudha. I believe today is a Thanksgiving day to our mentors and coaches.
Yeah, it looks
And
like.
yeah, it's look like definitely, and it is very important in your life, definitely. So another 30 seconds of feedback session to Toastmaster Sudha. Great. So here we conclude our first segment, the prepared speeches. And now let me call upon timer Toastmaster Pranav for his timing report. Over to you, Toastmaster Pranav.
Now I'll share the timers report. Toastmaster Dilip took 7 minutes 8 seconds. Toastmaster Vasudeva took 6 minutes 14 seconds. Toastmaster Dinesh took 7 minutes 20 seconds. Toastmaster Nivedita took 7 minutes 52 seconds. Toastmaster Sudha took 9 minutes 2 seconds. That's my timers report. Toastmaster of the day.
By the way, I didn't see the screen at all. Huh? I don't know where it was. I have no idea.
So,
No worries.
okay.
No worries.
No, it was shown, Sudha, because I was seeing this as a evaluator as well as a speaker. Sorry, Pranav, just tell, means of course to yourself only, who all have qualified for and eligible for vote. Your voice is, can you be a little louder? We can't hear you, Pranav.
It's are Toastmaster Dilip, Toastmaster Vasudeva, and Toastmaster Dinesh.
Only 3 are qualified. Okay.
Okay. So thank you, Toastmaster Pranav. So we have 3 people qualified for the voting. So hopefully we will have a voting link in the chat. Great, thank you. So as we said earlier, we just have prepared speeches today. We will not have a table topic segment. So let's move to the next segment. Now March end is also for performance review, evaluating your last year's financial and personal performances, whether you achieve what you have thought of, what you have decided, what was your timeline, and of course, what you're going to pay to the taxes. So likewise, our next segment, I would like to invite our general evaluator who has observed our meeting and who will tell us about the recommendation and area of improvement to all our speaker. So before I call upon general evaluator, I would like to call upon timer Pranav, Toastmaster Pranav again for the time guideline.
Sorry. 1 second. Sorry.
Yes.
Himangi, you have to hand over to general evaluator.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. No worries. Fine. Thank you. So let me call upon, I talked about my mentor for Toastmaster. So let me call upon Toastmaster Arvind to present general evaluation for our meeting for this day. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. As general evaluator, it is my duty to task, I would say, to assess the meeting and suggest any improvements that could be made. I do have a couple of people to assist me in this task. We will begin with the evaluation of the prepared speeches. And may I now invite the timer to give the timing guidelines for the evaluations. You are not audible. I think you need to. No, it's not audible at all.
Yeah, there is some murmur or there is some disturbance, but your voice is not, we can't hear you. You just try without.
Pranav, use the laptop mic. That will be better rather than using the headphones.
Yes,
that is better.
Yeah.
So the speaker is allotted between 2 to 3 minutes. When a speaker reaches 2 minutes, I will display the green card. When a speaker reaches 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will display the yellow card. When the speaker reaches 3 minutes, I will display the red card. Speaker has 30 seconds grace time before the green or after the red card is displayed to end the speech in order to qualify for the vote. I will report qualifying times when called for. Thank you and over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Pranav. We will begin with the evaluation of the prepared speeches. And for the first speech, for the evaluation of the first speech, may I invite Nivedita to present the evaluation.
Thank you, General Evaluator. And good evening once again to all of you, and in particular, Toastmaster Dilip. The title, 21 minutes only, that itself hooked me to listen to you carefully, because the title has a surprising elements, because what is 21 minutes it's all about. But as you start, you immediately talked about yet another interesting and very relating topic to me about exercise. Then you started with a story which has a good emotional appeal. Then you stress the importance of exercise by giving a research and giving the facts and figures. One good point I observed or I want is the it's the way you explain even the research part about it, which is quite interesting. And also you try to explain, you are so concerned about the exercise, you go on into the details of explaining the cost sensitivity between the two, the weight training as well as yoga, which is cost effective, can be done by anywhere and by anybody, which is trying to add conviction to others that you do exercises, which is important and which we could connect very well. Then finally, you have a sort of an ultimatum to us with Rahul's death, and you wanted to say that it is to say this is urgent and important, and you just can't miss. So once you have that all the elements, and it goes on increasing as your speech progresses, which add that required momentum or the seriousness to the speech. Now so as far as the objective are concerned, you have really done well. So coming to the areas which we can do much better, you have given a good details about the exercise, but something about what benefits the exercise about, give it to you. It's not only the prevention of diseases, but it helps you to improve your energy. It makes you work more, which are equally important. And then the one part which I stuck, it's not the sad, the death has a lot much more implication, which is a very a loss of a person, which is a very it's not only restricted to the sadness on the face of the family members. So that is one thing, though, that those emotions could have been done better. And more important, one element is how you had imbibed that in yourself and how you are serious about yourself. That could have added to the conviction. That's all. But overall, it's a good start, and all the best for your pathway. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Nivedita. And now may I invite Toastmaster Chetan to evaluate the second speech, please, by Vasudeva.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and in particular, my speaker, Vasudeva. What a mangoish speech that was. I mean, right from the beginning, it was titled, I've heard mango so many times, I'm compelled to have a mango with the next, maybe in the dinner or maybe tomorrow in the lunch, I'll definitely have mango. So that was the impact that your speech had on me. This title was very interesting. I had no clue what you were going to talk about when I just heard you, when you sent me the title. This is what I thought, there must be something extraordinary is going to come up, but it was an extraordinary speech, but something different. But it was, when it said I'm going to talk about mango, I was a little relaxed. So okay, now this is going to be something I can relate to myself. So a good selection of title, a well-researched speech. And I always felt it was always a privilege listening to you, Vasudeva. Your speech are very high in terms of contents. You do your research very well. You have a lot of things to speak about, and you have a lot of passion also. And whatever you speak about ancient India, you speak about mango, it's about anything else. You are very passionate about what you speak, and you know what you are going to speak. So that tells you that your level of preparation is something that you should be really proud of. But this is a Toastmaster speech. So there are certain things that we do in Toastmaster speech. There are certain ways we do a Toastmaster speech, and there are certain ways of improvement. So what were those? You spent a lot of time on the macro of the macroeconomic scenario of the mangoes, how the mangoes are worldwide traded, how many countries and all that thing. I would rather wanted you focus on the mango itself, how the mango per se is in the life of the people, what are the health benefits, who likes, who doesn't like, when it should be eaten, how many. So if you focus more on the mango, I think it would have made, because those statistics are good to hear when you hear them, but eventually it goes away as a passing reference. It doesn't get registered to your mind. Secondly, you quoted the source. That was good. And and the speech was right on time, just before the mango season about to start. Okay, so your conclusion was very simple. You could have added some more quote or element to that. In the beginning also, you could have added a quote to make it more impactful apart from your title, because that gets hooked people to your speech. You could have added some questions to the people in the chat box. Can you type in the chat box what exactly I'm going to talk about, which fruit I'm going to talk about? So it makes the people going to speak. You could have said, I'm going to talk about the speech which you all are going to have in the next week. So people have started thinking as to what you're going to speak. So that would have added a more interacting part. And in few part of your speech, you said, I'm going to speak something a little later in the speech. See, please understand, 5 minutes is a lifetime for your speech. 5 minutes is not a lifetime for the people who are going to listen to that topic. So you need to cover everything in that for 5 minutes and deliver, rather than saying, I'm going to stop or speak a little later. Speak it when you have the opportunity to speak, and let the people decide how much they want to take away. So just to conclude your speech evaluation, it was an interesting speech on mangoes. More crisp speech would have made it more impactful. We have a lot of other one-liners which were not required, to be very frank, or to make a speech. Have a question and interaction to deal with, to make it more interactive. Highlight the health benefits of the topic so that it becomes more relevant to those people. Overall, a well-researched speech, however, a little more crisp and interactive would have made it more impactful. Overall, a good speech. But I think if you follow this guideline, it will make it even better. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Chetan. And now may I invite Shirish, the evaluator, for the speech delivered by Dinesh. Please go ahead, Shirish.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Thank you, General Evaluator. My speaker started with the definition of mentoring. He explained and how he impressed with first call of the Toastmaster, and he joined Toastmaster Club. In Toastmaster, we give more importance on mentor-mentee relationship. Same way, my speaker represented in his speech how he got the support and encouragement from his mentor with his own learning. In order to that might maximize his potential and develop the skill of the communication and improve the performance. With help of mentor, we develop our skills and improve performance and become person that they want to be. Another example of mentor he has given that his own elder brother who helped him to learn some skills in other than Toastmaster journey. My speaker tried to envision mentoring. I would like to give some recommendations that I feel. He could use more example in addition to Toastmaster journey that makes your speech more interesting. He could use in addition to that, he could use some voice modulation and hand gestures also that impacts your speech. Last but least, as we are giving more as you are giving more and more speeches, your the total turnover of progress after our own realization will get the results. Best luck, and the in total the speech was very good, and best luck for your further journey in Toastmaster.
Thank you, Shirish. And now may I invite Manish to give the evaluation for Nivedita's speech. Over to you, Manish.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. You cannot teach a man anything. You can only help him discover it within himself, said Galileo. And Nivedita today explained how she has learned
पानी कितना आया?
the
आज तो
art
दिन था
of
ना?
Dilip, can you put off? Okay.
Requesting Zoom Master to mute everybody, all except the evaluator.
Toastmaster Nivedita explained how she learned from her mentors. She started off with this story about the cow and the tiger, which got everyone intrigued as to what was coming. And then she gradually built that analogy between the cow, tiger, the master, mud, and all of that. So that was very nice. She used her hands freely and her face was expressive. So that too conveyed what she felt, that cow in the mud, the tiger chasing her, the master coming, and everything, through her eyes she communicated. So that was very nice. Nivedita, one thing I felt is that story was a little too long. Maybe that could have been curtailed to some extent. I don't know. The meaning could have been brought in a shorter way, because I felt you spent over 2 minutes or maybe 1.5 to 2 minutes just to get to the point where the story ends and your speech begins. What happened after that is that you had 4 different mentors to talk of, including DTMers in general. So that gave you very little time to talk about the mentoring experience you experience as a protege. Now that was the objective of the speech. So while you did speak very well about what your guide taught you during the postgraduate program, the accountability aspect, then what the corporate world, I mean, that gentleman taught you what you should not do as a mentor is what I gained from the description. Then you spoke about Toastmaster Hasnain and then the BTMers in general. Now, normally what we have in the structure of the speeches, we have the opening, we have 3 points in the body and closure. For a 5 to 7 minute speech, I would devote about 45 seconds to the opening, 1.5 minutes each to the 3 points, and 45 seconds for the closure. That would give you 6 minutes of content. So maybe you just need to restructure that speech in a way so that you have 3 points, a 45-second opening and a 45-second closure. So that will help you a lot. Otherwise, you had a brilliant speech, really enjoyed it. The story was fantastic. You just have to work on structuring it in a way that you don't get timed out like this. 7:32, you were timed out just by 2 seconds. Maybe the story could have been cut short to bring you within the time limit. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Manish. And now may I have Manjeet giving the evaluation for Sudha's speech. Over to you, Manjeet.
Good evening, General Evaluator, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. What makes a good coach? Commitment. And did Toastmaster Sudha exhibit commitment while she shared her journey of coaching? Yes, she did. To the letter T in the word commitment. She took us on a very interesting journey when she shared the experience of coaching her Avni with us. How she uplifted Avni from depression and took her to becoming a successful entrepreneur. She also shared with us the standardized procedures that they went through and all the details, and enlightened us about the process of coaching. She used hand gestures and her voice modulation very effectively. And I loved the poise with which she delivered her speech. But unfortunately, Toastmaster Sudha ran over the time. The turnover of her Toastmaster's speech was thus affected. Member guests, what I wish to tell Toastmaster Sudha is that her introduction began with a tautology, where the same thought was expressed in different words and different sentences. I found there a lot of meandering. And she also referred to another mentee of hers, which she may have shared with us earlier. I felt that this did not fit in the context of this speech because most of the people present here wouldn't be able to relate with it. So that was also a wastage of time. A short, crisp introduction and jumping straight into your story would have been much better. Measure out your words and your sentences so that the total effect of your speech in the end turns out to be powerful and impactful. To recapitulate, Toastmaster Sudha delivered a very nice speech. It was delivered very well, but yes, she needs to definitely keep in mind brevity. Brevity is extremely important. It also holds the interest of the audience just till it is required, and at the same time would never get you over and out of the competition. So wish you better planning next time. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Manjeet. And
Manjeet, can I just say something? Sorry.
No, you're not supposed to speak now, Sudha. If you need
Okay,
to,
okay, no worries.
to do it
I'll take it off.
chat
I'll take it off the meeting.
after the meeting, not before. May I have the timer give the report, please, for the evaluations?
Yeah, hello. Am I audible?
No, you're not audible. There's something wrong.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah. So the timer's report is Toastmaster took 3 minutes 18 seconds. Toastmaster Chetan 3 minutes 52 seconds. Toastmaster Shirish took 2 minutes 3 seconds.
Sergeant at Arms, timer, Pranav, can you just put it into the chat, please? Just put it into the chat in a few moments' time whilst I ask. So I think all the evaluators have qualified, so kindly vote for the best evaluator.
Sorry, general evaluator except Chetan, all are qualified.
Okay, 3 minutes and 52 seconds. I'm sorry. Yeah. Please vote for the best evaluator. And as that weighing done, may I now invite the R counter to give the report, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are, Deepa. Please go.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. As per our counter report, Nivedita, for Toastmaster Nivedita, there are no crutch sound. There are few filler words, but so there are few repeat words. Toastmaster Himangi, there are 3-4 times crutch sound. There are 1 time repeat word. Toastmaster Dilip, there are 3-4 times crutch sound and 1 time repeat word. Toastmaster Vasudeva, there are 4-5 times crutch sound, few filler words. So Toastmaster Dinesh, there are few repeat words like who helped us, good thing, good thing. There are 2-3 times crutch sound. Toastmaster Sudha, very clean speech with respect to filler word, only 1 small repeat word. Toastmaster Chetan, there is 1 crutch sound, 1 repeat word. Toastmaster series, there are 2 crutch sound, 1 short pause and 1 repeat word. Toastmaster Manish, there are 2 filler phase, repeated twice. There are 1 crutch sound, Toastmaster Manjeet, there are 3-4 times crutch sound, and 1 repeat word, 1 filler phrase, Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster, General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepak. And now may I invite the grammarian to give the report for today, please.
Good evening. Audible?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, so I'll start with the good usage of word. So small activities help a person to have a healthy life, even it means taking a small walk. So couple of Toastmaster has given a couple of good statements, very good explanation or advice given by the speaker, how to have a healthy life. And for that, even if one walk for 20 minutes. Magnifera indica, which is nothing but a mango. I am sure most of us were not aware of this technical word. And glad to know India is one of the largest exporter of mango, and many other facts related to mangoes, which again, I'm sure most of us were not aware of those facts. And again, importance of having mentor in one's life, which is very good statement, and as good as stranger actually. A new way of greeting, a very holy evening. I like this statement. Speaker 5 used so many good phrases that I couldn't write it down because There were many phrases. I was very much involved in the speech, so that's why I could not note it down. But yes, there was so many good statements used by the speaker. Not so good. Tiger wanted to, not want to. There was an error. You do your work, not key do your work. There was a Hindi usage being used by the speaker. I have not noticed a turnover, which is word of the day in this speech, except one. So Vasudev did mention revenue, which is somewhat like equivalent to turnover, but he used the revenue. He gave a couple of figures of export, import, what India does in terms of mangoes business. Yeah, Toastmaster Shirish used the word of the day, which was turnover. That's all from my side. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Grammarian. And now for my general report of the meeting. Yes, we did begin at 5:30 with the Sergeant at Arms opening the meeting. It started off and then there was the sound that just went bad. I think there was something wrong with the sound. Pranav, I think we need to come in early and to check. See, we need to come in early at 5:15, speakers and role players. Please come in early and position yourself, understand where you are, where you should be when you are checking your audio and video, and mark where you need to sit or stand, because that would help when you are delivering your speech. So please come in early. We do open early at about 5:15. Of course, we did have a little hiccup today, but nevertheless, we could have come in as soon as the message came on the WhatsApp chat that the room is open. We needed to come in and to check and be ready where we should be standing and delivering our speech so that it is most effective in both sound and body language as well. Nivedita began and asked the speakers to come in, and also importance of the day. That was good. I think the other than the Toastmaster of the day, nobody should even touch upon what is going to be the theme for the day. So I think we need to avoid that. That's the prerogative of only the Toastmaster of the day who's done it and should only introduce. Nobody else, I would suggest, should mention anything about the theme for the day. The Toastmaster of the day, wonderful speech, I must say. Considering the time that she had, I must say that she's done a great job in contacting everybody to get their introductions, and every speaker was introduced well. The grammarian word of the day was, it was the turnover, but I think looking at the number of faces on the screen, the turnover for our club today has been very low, and it shouldn't be this way. We do need to ensure that people come to the meeting, because if you as a member do not come to the meeting, I'm afraid it's for you, and you cannot blame anybody else that you have lost out on something, because it's you who need to come up and ensure that each meeting goes the way it should and you derive the greatest benefits from each meeting. So please ensure that we have our executive committee members reaching out to all the members to ensure that they come, or to understand why exactly they did not come. Tell them that they have been missed so that we get some more people coming into the meeting. The grammarian, you did a good job, I should say, but your job is to increase your listening skills and You cannot get lost in a speech. You have to multitask, and that's where you learn how to multitask. So please ensure that you also take down every speech. But you don't need to disclose that you were engrossed in the speech. Take a couple of the good usage of the words that the speaker has used. You don't necessarily have to tell the word that you were engrossed. Yeah, so just whatever you have, just a few from that person's speech must be included. Our counter, you did a good job. But I would again like you to ensure that you tell us the number of times that a speaker used which crutch word or which crutch sound. Because only when you tell me that particular sound or word will I be aware that I must take control of myself and not ensure that I use that to the minimum. So I must be made aware. You must mention the number of times the word, which word or which sound was used. Timer, Pranav, you are back here after quite some time, and I think you've forgotten some things to be done. Because why was the timer cards just flashed and taken away? Aren't they supposed to be side by side? Can we not do that with the speaker highlighted and the timer card at the side? I was trying to see when you highlighted me whether I was able to pin the timer, but I wasn't able to. Is this something to do with the Zoom account that we have? But I'm sure we did have the timer cards being shown side by side. I think that's what you need to do. Speakers need to see the time. You cannot just flash it because we are in the midst of speaking and we may not notice that the card has come on. So you need to show the card at the appropriate time. It has to be on till the speaker finishes, or the red light continues till the speaker finishes. So please ensure that this card is shown. Yes, we did not have the table topics today. And we did have a marathon of speeches. What we should now, generally, what we should do is ensure at the beginning itself, maybe the VP, the Vice President Education, may ensure that all the role players and the speakers are there before we commence the meeting. Or I was looking at the screen and I was looking at the agenda and I was missing certain people and I was wondering, are we going to make an announcement that this person has not come in, so we won't have this person's speech? But it was a good thing that Nivedita, as Vice President Education, you took it over and did the evaluation. But I think, you need to understand and find out from the person whether they're coming in or not. That's why we need to come in at least 15 minutes early and ensure that the Toastmaster of the day can adjust the script or the evaluator can be changed, etc. We make all the changes before we start the meeting, not try and hunt for the person who's supposed to evaluate. So we need to do that. And I think we need to bring in a discipline here. If the speaker is asking, whoever is speaking, ask whether this person is visible and audible. I don't think 10 of us should say yes or no. We should leave it to either the evaluator or the Toastmaster of the day, whoever is in charge of that section, to answer the person. Or we should then ensure that the Zoom master says yes. We need not, 10 of us need not say yes. That's causing a indiscipline at the meeting. When we evaluate, we give our opinion. And if we do not agree or have something to say, we do not say it at the meeting, to the meeting, but we have it after the meeting on a one-to-one to the person or the evaluator who has evaluated. And it's just the opinion of the person. So I don't know whether we don't normally, we accept what was said. We may like to put up a point saying that, okay, this was what was done and this is the intention. But that can be done on a one-to-one and it need not be done in the midst of a meeting, because we have to maintain the protocol of a meeting, and that has to be done only after that. So those were the few points. And Sudha, we missed the title of your speech. Even you did not mention it, because I think the Toastmaster of the day says you could mention the title of the speech, and I was waiting to listen to the title of the speech, unfortunately. Could you now tell me what the title of your speech was?
Yeah, it is Be Balanced and Infinite, number 8. Yeah, that's what it is. Thank you.
Those were the few things that we needed to look at. And yes, considering the agenda, it's about 7:19 and we're just in time to hand over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Arvind. I'm sure all the participant has noted down, and it was very descriptive kind of evaluation, which is not useful only for this meetings, but for our future meetings also, this can be taken care of. So thank you very much for this. Now, before we end this meeting, financial year end or the March end suddenly change everything. Everything becomes urgent, urgent, urgent for us. That rush that's running to meet the targets. I think so. One thing that we need to do is just keep calm, brace yourself. And I would like to say for the students, all the very best for their exams coming in this month and next month. And all the professionals like me, best of luck for your reviews and returns. Over to you, Toastmaster Nivedita. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. It's wonderful, Madam Toastmaster. And I would like to share with you, it's her first Toastmaster of the Day role play she is doing, and she has done a fantastic job. Okay. So at the end, I would once again like to invite the guests and share their experience. How did they find? May I invite Akshay? Akshay, are you there? Once. I think guests are not there. So here are the results. So we have only 2 out of 3. The best speaker. No guesses. The best speaker is Toastmaster Vasudeva. Give a big hand to Toastmaster Vasudeva.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, and all the best for your future speeches. And the next award is Best of Big 3. Sorry. I'm sorry. The best evaluator is Toastmaster Manjeet.
Sorry. I'm just cutting you, Nivedita. I'm sorry. Manjeet also took the word of the day, which took turnover. So I'm really sorry. I mean, this is the first.
No problem.
My apologies. Thank you.
Apologies, there is no big 3 as we don't have the table topic master today. So we have only 2 awards. Fine. So at the end of this meeting, I just want to highlight that the next meeting will be table topics only. That is on 3rd of April. That is the first Saturday of April, and no April Fool. So requesting all of you to attend in a big number and give your table topics. So no preparation, just come and attend and speak impromptu. With this, we are closing the meeting. Thank you. You have a very happy evening and a happy Holi once again. Thank you.
Happy Holi. Thanks.
Hello, Tina. Welcome back to Bombay Toastmasters.
Oh,
thank you so much.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say that she's part of BTM now.
Not
Tina,
now.
sorry.
Yeah,
So
she
if you
has
have
been part
any,
of BTM earlier also.
Now she's back.
No
Tina,
problem.
are you
Thank
there?
you so much.
Yes,
I'm there, Toastmaster.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
So please share your feedback. So though there are less number of team members, I would like to know.
It's like 7:25. I know everyone wants to rush. end of the weekend. I just want to say thank you so much. I was completely inundated. I was floored with the kind of views that people share on this platform. Really appreciate and look forward to a long-term association. Thanks for a warm welcome.
Great. So you just share your number on the watch.
We have.
You have? Okay, fine.
She has already shared all the details.
Okay, done. No problem.
Thank you.
Yeah. So whoever the members can, Zoom Master, can we request a photograph? Sorry, my apology. I forgot to mention it before the closing the meeting. But
you're multi-hatting today, Nivedita.
Seriously,
I mean, you've been doing a wonderful job. I just wanted to say, I'm sure this is amazing.
Zoom Master, is he there or? Okay, thank you. I'll just try to click it the way I feel. Can you make your cameras open? Great. Say cheese. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes.
Happy Holi to all.
Happy Holi to all.
Happy Holi to all. Happy Holi to all.
Yes. Bye.
Hello. Hi, Nivedita.
Yes, bolo.
Yeah. Actually, so Abhi, since all the speeches are done for the first level, what next should I be doing?
Hi. So good you both are here because you both are really important for me because you both will complete my one of the award for the for Maker Diamond Club. Let me tell you, because I have 13 members are done and I need 2, and somehow I'll tell you what happened. Even I have completed level 2, but I can't do it because my name is not featuring with some technical difficulties and will appear only in month of April.
Okay.
So I'm a backup sort of thing, but not useful till in the month of March, and we need the record by 31st of March.
Right.
So go into the TI site and approve your level first, and for you, Dinesh, second level. Please do it so that we will have the all 15 members in place. Kirtiman would have done today, but I don't know why the way he got absconding, and with the starting technical glitch, I had hardly any time to find out all the members are there. So I skipped it completely.
So I just have to mark it complete on the site, right?
Yes. In your pathway in Basecamp, when you go, and in Basecamp, it is I'll show you 1 second. Can you, Dinesh, you will also see that. Just a minute, I'll share my screen and I'll show you right now. I don't know whether I have the rights. Okay, I have the rights. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen. Yeah.
So go to Basecamp. Go to Basecamp.
Okay.
Dinesh, you are seeing, right? So that you can complete path and learning. So here it's mine. So you can see that, suppose this is my path. So open curriculum. So now let's say my level 1 is complete, but I can, this is my level 2. Right. So I have to go to each speech in, let's say, launch. my network it's little bit slow.
Yeah, no worry.
So I have to go. I understand different communication style. I have to rate how I understand the project. So I am aware about my preferred communication style. Yes, I know my communication style now. I understand how my behavior and chosen communication style may impact my interaction with others. See, these are basically the evaluation or the learnings you had with that particular speech.
Right.
So I can select and adjust my communication style to fit any situation or relationship. And then I recognize how to project and applies to my life outside the Toastmasters. So this is submit. So before and after also you do, I was low and then I improved.
Correct.
Right? So this way I have to do all the three, all my speeches.
Right.
Active listening as well as introduction to Toastmaster mentoring.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Then the request will come to me as a VP aide. Okay. Then I will approve and then you will receive a mail from Toastmaster side कि you have completed that particular level. Okay. And then you are good to start your next level.
Okay. Got it.
That's it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So will you do it in 2 days? Next 2 days? Possible?
Yeah,
and just let me know so that immediately I'll correct it. I'll approve it.
If required, we'll contact you again.
Sure. No problem. I'll help you again. No problem.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Just one more thing, like the first two projects I have already done. So only the today ka
third one ka you have to do and then submit everything. Then your level is complete, na?
Right. Chale.
Yeah. And both of you have taken your second path. It's free up to 31st March.
Away. So wo bhi I'll
you take it. You go to Basecamp mein, you was to select and then go to that online version, not the hard copy. The online version is free.
Right.
So you can do one thing. So now you have completed level 1. So you have an option. You complete the same path you have chosen and completed level 2, 3, 4 in one go and then switch to your second path. Or you can one here, one there, the way you feel, the way you want to do it. You can do it. Let's say you have taken any totally different type of pathway. Let's say engaging humor. And you want to try that in between so that your communication will improve from your humorous angle or from that lighter point and you feel that is important to you, you can do that.
Okay.
Yeah?
Chale.
Yeah. Yes. Chalo. Thanks. Nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.